Who are you? Not your job, not your title, not the story you tell at dinner parties. Who are you when no one is watching? Who are you when it gets hard? Who are you when the alarm goes off and everything in you says, stay? Most people never answer that question honestly because the honest answer is uncomfortable. But there is a man who asked himself that question at his lowest, darkest, most broken moment. And what he found changed everything. Stay with me because the answer to that question might be the most important thing you hear this year. Subscribe to this channel right now because every Monday and Thursday we go deep on the ideas that actually change lives. Not motivation that fades, mental architecture that lasts. Like this video, share it. Let's go. I am Dr. TJ, a Harvard Fellowship trained surgeon and a distinguished Toastmaster. The highest honor in Toastmasters International, earned by less than 1% of members worldwide. And everything I am about to share with you comes from decades of real-world experience at the highest levels. David Goggins grew up in a household ruled by fear and violence. His father was abusive. His childhood was chaos. He struggled with learning disabilities. He was bullied relentlessly for his race. By his mid-20s, he weighed nearly 300 pounds. He was working as a pest control operator, spraying cockroaches in restaurants at night. And one evening, he sat on his couch drinking a chocolate milkshake, watching a documentary about Navy SEALs. He watched these men, broken, freezing, suffering, choosing not to quit. And something cracked open inside him. Not inspiration, not motivation, something deeper, something more honest. He looked at himself, truly looked, and asked the question most of us spend our entire lives avoiding. Who am I? And the answer terrified him. He was no one, not yet. Here is what psychology tells us about identity. We do not rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our identity. Read that again. You can set the biggest goal in the world. You can write it on your mirror. You can tell everyone you know. But if your identity, the story you carry about who you are, does not match that goal, you will self-sabotage every single time. The person who says, I want to get fit, but identifies as someone who is naturally lazy, will find a reason to skip the gym. The person who says, I want to build something great, but identifies as someone from the wrong background, will find a reason to stay small. The identity always wins. Always. That is why motivation fails. Motivation is an emotion. It comes and goes like the weather. Identity is a structure. It is the house you live in. And most of us are living in a house we built by accident. A house built from other people's opinions, from our worst moments, from the labels the world put on us before we were old enough to refuse them. Goggins looked at his house and decided to burn it down. He gave himself a new name. Not literally, internally. He decided that night on the couch that he was no longer the scared, overweight, broken person the world had made him. He was going to become someone else. Not someone easier, not someone harder. He applied for Navy SEAL training. He was rejected. Too heavy, too old, wrong background. He lost 106 pounds in 3 months to qualify. 106 pounds in 3 months. He went through SEAL training, one of the most brutal selection processes on earth, 3 times. Yes, 3 times. Because he refused to let failure be the last word. He became a Navy SEAL, an Army Ranger, an Air Force tactical controller. He ran ultra marathons. He set a world record for pull-ups, 4,030 in 17 hours. Just think about that, amazing. Not because he was gifted, because he answered the question honestly and then built a new answer from scratch. He calls it the accountability mirror. Every morning, you look at yourself and you tell the truth. Not the comfortable truth, the real truth. And then you decide again who you are going to be today. The identity is not given, it is chosen. Every single morning, it is chosen. Now we'll go over 3 quotations from David Goggins. The first, you are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential, end quote. David Goggins and Identity Psychology. The second quote, the most important conversation is the one you have with yourself, end quote. David Goggins and Identity Psychology. The third and last quote, we all have the ability to come from nothing and become something. But it requires being brutally honest about who you are right now, end quote. David Goggins and Identity Psychology. Now here is your challenge, and I want you to take it seriously. Tonight, find a mirror. Look at yourself. Not quickly, really look. And ask this question out loud. Who am I right now? Honestly, write down what comes up, even if it hurts, especially if it hurts. And then write down who you have decided to become. Not who you want to be, who you have decided to be. There is a difference between wanting and deciding. Wanting is passive, while deciding is a declaration. Make the declaration tonight and wake up tomorrow as someone new. Now share this with someone who is ready to stop playing small. The like button is free and it means everything. Subscribe and come back Monday for a story that will remind you what courage actually looks like.
You are unstoppable.